Okay, so I lost 2 big jobs. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to the website, and I'm going to write, okay, and it's going to test.
Now, are they still just high def?
My name's Anthony Lenzo.
Russ McDonald.
I'm Philip Friesenbichler.
I'm Jeff Seckendorf.
Danny Kedda.
Mark Horton.
Well, LA User Group started, its genesis started on the LA Red User Group website, and the LA users had kind of been toying with the idea to get together and kind of form a user group or a tight circle.
So what this is an input and output breakout box, audio and video for the Red One. It takes all the mini audio connectors and the video connectors and turns it into full-size connectors at the camera. So it allows you to have inputs and outputs at the camera, as well at the same time it allows you to expand it off the camera body into a breakout box that can go up to 50 feet away. So you don't need any cables attached to the camera but this one DVI cable. Sends it down this 50-foot pipeline up to 50 feet away for video village or remote monitoring. Gives you 4 channels of audio, HDSDI 1, HDSDI 2, or you can select that. Now they can both be preview, HDSDI 1 or preview, full-time Genlock, time code in and out. It's got audio monitoring here, external GPI trigger, as well as a start-stop on the box itself. Additional audio monitoring here as well. So you can hook up just this box through this DVI cable, or you can disconnect the DVI cable, run everything off the panel itself. That's a full-time preview, that's full-time timecode. That's HDSDI 1, HDSDI 2. If I flip this switch here, that's preview, preview, preview. Flip it again, preview HDSDI 1 Genlock. Flip it again, preview HDSDI 2 in Genlock. That's always timecode. It's either in or out, and I tell it at the panel if I want this to be the output. I flip it to output, now that's an output. If I'm jamming it, I hit the switch right here, and now that's an input here. You don't lose your Genlock functionality either. You still have 4 outputs, just like you have on the back of the camera here, but what it's doing, it's routing, it's switching it over internally. So your time code gets routed through the outputs. You still have pass-through, it vents, exhausting any hot air from the camera out through the product itself, and you still have loop-through access for your HDMI and USB ports as well. You have a shoe mount or any Sony or Panasonic standard shoe. There's also a 1/4-inch plate, so you can put any shotgun mount here for mounting a shotgun mic in the field. You can tell it that you want your audio to come from the back of the camera or the breakout box. You can select. So whether you want to send 1 or 2 channels to the camera or vice versa, using these switches right here, you just let it know that you want it to come from the camera. I'll just pull this off right here. Whether you want it to come from the camera or if you want it to come from the breakout box. That's it. Essentially, once it's on, it should stay on. There's a Sanaprime gasket right here that protects the camera body, protects those connectors. Ideally, also what it's doing is it's extending the life cycle of the connectors that are on the camera body of the mini connectors. So you're not plugging in. Those mini connectors are a pain in the ass, regardless if they're on the camera. If you use them in any other application, they are a pain in the ass, the chassis mount ones.
All for the magic price of?
All for the magic price of, as a kit, $37.95 together. But you can start independently. You have to start with the panel. And later on, if you want to expand to the breakout box, you can do that.
I'm going to take a picture.
Oh, of course.
What are some of the applications?
Applications for this, ideally, if you're on a crane, if you're on a dolly, if you're handheld, if you're in a multi-camera situation, rather than having several cables to the camera weighing down the operator, or just, starting a cable clutter here. Normally you would have a spaghetti, you just have a mess of cables here. It's all in one cable right here. So if you're on a crane, rather than having all the cables run up to the, up the crane arm, it's one cable. This right here is a 25-foot mult. If you were to have 2 videos, Genlock, timecode in and out, 4 channels of audio, and monitor return plus start stop, this 25-foot harness would be a lot thicker and a lot heavier. So it all runs down as industry standard DVI cable. And again, you can disconnect from here, and now the panel operates on its own. Still giving you preview outputs, monitor outputs, Genlock in and out. It just gives you 3 channels of audio, and we did that for size-wise, to keep the size down, to greater fit the shape of the camera. If you do require 4 channels of audio, you can get it at the breakout box.
When you plug that, does that lift these connectors to give these connectors, or are they simultaneous?
The video could be simultaneous. The audio, it's going to select one or the other. You tell it. I want it at the panel or I want it at the breakout box, because you can't step 2 channels. The videos are outputs except for gen lock. Okay, but the audios itself are the inputs to the cameras itself. So you just choose one source at a time. And
You mentioned that extends the life of the original connector.
the life cycles of the original mini connectors on the camera itself. Once you plug in here, now you're full size. So you're not plugging in and out of the camera's connectors all the time. These are the mating connectors of the camera right here. You can see that these are the male connectors. On the camera, it's female. So ultimately, it's extending the life cycle of the camera itself. Now, whether your camera has the Red 1 upgrade, whether your camera has the Red 1 upgrade or not, these switches here, you can set them whenever you get the upgrade. You just switch these over to the Red 1 upgrade position, and it shuts off the resistor path, and you're ready for your box is now ready for the upgrade, or it's sending the signals to the camera for the in upgrade mode.
How easy is it to install?
It takes probably 2 minutes. What you do is you remove the 4 screws on the camera itself, so that you don't put them on the bench or keep them in your pocket or lose them on the set. You park them right here.
Oh, how sweet.
You park them right here in case you want to take the panel off. You put those screws back on. You just line up the connectors here, line up your time code, press it on, and then just screw it down. That's it. It takes seconds to do.